Mike Paswani. I would like to ask you your thoughts on about when you're driving down the street, you find people on cell phone or texting messages. In the last assembly and all, they almost tried to pass it, but somebody voted in because it didn't go through. What are your thoughts on trying to pass it? Because in California, they have the law, you cannot have have to earpiece and all. So, what are your thoughts on about that?
Sure. My name is Todd Oppenborn, and that's a question that I've thought about some. I know where I work right now, in Nellis Air Force Base, you're not allowed to talk on a cell phone while you're driving on base. You've got to pull off the side of the road to do that. And they enforce that vigorously. There's good reason for it, I do believe, but to tell you the truth, the libertarian in me, I can see a creeping incrementalism going on in this country. California is a good example. I see us, Las Vegas, after growing up here all my life, I've seen the city change from what used to be a western town, which was pretty wide open, to LA East, and bringing with that a lot of the problems that LA and Southern California have. I hate to see that happen. A lot of personal intrusions on people's personal actions. I try to get away from. People are Americans. We can educate them. We can try to do whatever we can to make them, through their own wills, not want to do these actions because they know it's dangerous and may hurt themselves or somebody else, which I do believe. But as far as getting one more law on the books, it's tough for me to go with, because I see targeted groups. The smokers were the first one. I see they've been more or less turned into pariahs in this society. I don't know if you've noticed, but in California, they almost couldn't smoke in their own houses. That is the extreme, and I see us incrementally moving towards that extreme. So a line's got to be drawn someplace on saying, as an American, what can I and can I not do in my own house, in my own car, and with my own body? That's my answer.
Down Albright. The state of Nevada has one of the lowest tax rates in the country, and you just made a comment that you believe that we're heading towards possibly one of the worst business orientated states. I'd like for you, if you would, to expound on that. And also, if you would, for the second part of my question is, in a perfect world, if you were elected legislator on the state assembly, and you were actually given the authority to lead in as far as the direction of which way the state would go, what kind of ideas, where would you like to see the state head? Thank you.
Yes, thank you. My name is Todd Oppenborn. And as far as taxes, that's not only my opinion, that came right out of the Review Journal. So it's a lot of people's opinion. And from what's coming down the pike at us right now, that's from this next election that's coming up, we can all see it happening. We can read the bills. I personally have been down to the DMV. In fact, I have to go back down there again to try to register my car today, actually, after I leave here. Last time, it took me 3 days. It was a nightmare. So I tell you, it's just not, and it went up a third. And small business owners. I've got a friend of mine who's a small business owner. He manufactures here in town. His business license went up almost 300%. These things are crazy. It's just crazy on the scale of what's happening. And we're going to be nickel and dime to death. Make no mistake about that. They're coming with everything they can think of and to try to pull it out of us. And what my direction would be, I would be, excuse me, I would think that if we made, as I mentioned before, Nevada the most business-friendly state in the country, that the revenues, as you know, from small businesses and the job creation from small businesses creates more than 80% of the jobs in this country, new jobs, sustainable jobs, not census jobs or government jobs that really don't produce anything. So we need to produce something right now, and that's the way we've got to go. If we make Nevada the most business-friendly state, then the tax increases, as it happened in the early 80s at the Reagan years, go up. Why history can't seem to get through this legislature, I'm not sure, but all you have to do is read your history, and it's obvious.
And for the panel members, 2 minutes. Are you good to go? You want another question? You want another question? Well, actually, I actually had another one. Thinking that California's government has pretty much failed its business community, what would you think about passing legislature to steal Silicon Valley?
That's always something interesting to think about. I think right now businesses are leaving California in the drove anyway, just for their own incentives, and for obvious reasons. A good example, I worked for a company here, not too long ago, that did a job in California, and this poor man, he had himself a landfill. Now, he'd already taken everything he could out of this landfill, and he wanted to make it a clean, or not landfill, but or a gravel pit. He already taken all the gravel that he could, and he wanted to make it a clean landfill, just, construction debris, concrete, wood, things like that, things that wouldn't pollute anything. This poor man spent over 4 years going through 17 different state governments and over $3 million just trying to get the initial permits to do this. And that is the way we're going in Nevada right now. And that's what I'm afraid of. We're going in that direction, and it's got to be stopped. It's got to be stopped. And I think just the natural synergy of that, the progression of these things will definitely be in our favor. And as far as tax incentives, like I said, if we make this state the most business-friendly state in the country, they will be coming here, and it won't be just them.
One quick question, Maria Dunnigan. You stated that that smokers are you apparently probably not in support of the tobacco settlement agreement?
That's a done deal. My approval or not is. I'm sorry. What do I think of it? Personally, I'm gonna little disclaimer here. I'm not going to run a politically correct campaign. Just to let you guys know. I'm going to tell you what I think and what I believe. If it's politically correct, and if I offend some people, I'm sorry. I don't mean to, but you asked me the question. So, what do I think of? I think that was a cash cow. That it was the easy fruit for politicians to hit, and they have been for quite a while. They have it was started out in the '60s and are going all the way through now. That the tobacco industry has been demonized for the last 50 years. And I think when you start classing people out by their habits, Americans, when you start classing American people out by their habits and giving them special taxes, special treatments, special penalties, I don't agree with that. Because who's next? Because once the smokers are gone, all that revenue that they are now getting from them will be gone as well. So who's going to fund the schools next? They're coming after some other group. And the next group I can think is going to be, trans fats. It's going to be overweight people. There's going to be a charge for being overweight, perhaps, or something else. There'll be another class of Americans where they will try to, the politicians who are running the show right now, will try to single out, to demonize, to get the revenue from. It's got to happen unless we put a stop to it. A line's got to be drawn someplace, and I think we are at that line right now.